Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So, is Bitcoin the stupidest investment ever? Well, according to Charlie Munger, it is the stupidest investor he has ever seen. So, let's talk about this. Is Charlie Munger right, and is Warren Buffett right about Bitcoin? Why are we all in it? Are we all stupid? Well, let's take a look. Welcome, guys. No market bell today. It's Saturday morning. Hopefully you're doing okay. You know what? Charlie Munger, once again, on the attack. Don't get me started on Bitcoins. It's the stupidest investment I ever saw. Okay, so Charlie Munger was doing an interview with Fortune. He was talking about a whole lot of stuff, but he was just really shitting on everything, including AI. AI is getting more hype than it deserves. I mean, at this point, I hate to say it, but maybe Charlie and Warren, they're just a little bit out of touch with what's happening. AI is getting more hype than it deserves. AI is taking over everything. A lot of industries are going to change. There will be new jobs created, but it's going to kill a lot of jobs too. Whatever the case is, AI is not getting more hype than it deserves. It's getting probably less hype than it deserves. AI is going to be the future, and so will all the dApps that power it, and the dApps are on, ledgers and blockchain, and I mean, it's just a revolution, right? Everything's tied together. We are moving in Web 3, Web 4 possibly, okay? But someone that's in his 90s still thinks everything is no good. We should only invest things that produce commodities like corn and eggs and widgets. I don't know what else. I don't know. I just think, I just think that they'll never turn around. They'll never change their mind, right? The funny thing is, the biggest gainer in Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio is a tech company, Apple. But I guess according to Apple, they're producing something. iPhones, right? They rather it produce something than nothing. But what about Microsoft? Microsoft is a big tech company, but they just produce software. But, according to these guys, if you're not producing something physical, it can't be valuable. That's the problem, right? That's the problem. But maybe, hey, maybe we're just all idiots, right? Maybe we are all stupid. Maybe they just know better. Maybe all of us are clinging on this stupid dream that Bitcoin is going to make us life-changing wealth when, in fact, investing in Kellogg's or P&G is a better bet. I don't know. No, I take that back. I do know. I know we're not stupid. I know none of us are stupid. We know what we're about. We know what Bitcoin is about. If you truly understand Bitcoin, then you wouldn't have these doubts at all, especially with what's going on in the world. Unless you've been living under a rock for the past 4 years. Most of you guys have not, because you're tuned in right now. You know what's going on with our governments, right? I say it every day. We're above 33 trillion in debt and going up by more than $1 trillion a month. Is that worrisome? I think so. I think that's pretty worrisome. Inflation is still sky high, even though CPI says inflation is coming down, but cost of food is like double, at least double, if not triple, than a few years ago. Everything else have gotten way more expensive, right? So inflation is definitely still here, entrenched, even though Powell won't admit it, right? So we need something better. We need something better. That is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is 2023's best performing asset among 40 wealth classes. Look at that. Year to date, Bitcoin is at 63%. US large cap, 28%, not too bad. And then everything else is trailing by a large amount. Long-term treasuries down almost 9% just this year. Remember I said it's stupid to buy treasuries, right? I mean, I don't know why people still buy treasuries. Precious metals, including gold, is down 6%. The thing not down and leading the way is Bitcoin. So how could you say Bitcoin is a stupid investment when it's leading all asset classes for this year, right? And this is a recovery year. 2022 was bad, right? And you could argue maybe Bitcoin fell down the most compared to all the other asset classes. But when there's a disaster or when there's a lot of fear, everything goes down. It doesn't matter if it comes down. It's who recovers back up the fastest and the most, right? And that's Bitcoin. Nothing's going to outperform Bitcoin. None of these. Nothing is close. And Michael Saylor likes to remind us that, hey, since he started investing in Bitcoin in August of 2020, he's up, or Bitcoin is up 126%. Versus had he put all that money, I think it was like at the time 200 million, his first investment. Had he put it into the S&P or NASDAQ, he'll be up, but barely at 28% or 21%. But had he listened to, like, say, someone like Peter Schiff and put all that money into gold, well, he would still be down 9%, silver down 18%, or if you listen to his banks, they would tell him to put it into treasury bonds. He would be at negative 20%, right? So this is the reality. So how could you say Bitcoin is the stupidest investment ever? It doesn't make any sense. And even banks and financial institutions are now all coming out and saying, yeah, Bitcoin is a critical hedge. It's a hedge against inflation. And we all need to hold a lot of hedges against inflation because what I just mentioned, our U.S. debt is going up at an astronomical rate above 33 trillion, and we will be passing 34 trillion in no time. Before the end of this month, we'll be at 34 trillion, and by the time we do hit the end of the month, we'll probably be at 35 trillion because right now, we are accumulating debt over $1 trillion per month. $1 trillion per month. Over $1 trillion per month. Not just $1 trillion. Over $1 trillion per month. And that is not going to stop. So yes, we need hedges against inflation. The best hedges against inflation is the one that appreciates the most. And that's Bitcoin with an annualized return of 144% per year since the beginning, since 2010. So how can you say the best performing asset class within the last decade by a long shot be the stupidest investment ever? Maybe all of us are not stupid. Maybe Charlie Munger is stupid for refusing to recognize that Bitcoin is definitely an asset class and one, maybe you don't have to put all your money in, but at least put some of your money in because it is the best performing. Even better than Apple. Like I said, Apple's the best performing asset in Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio. Had they put money into Bitcoin instead of Apple, they would be up multiple times more, right? So, yeah, my argument is, yeah, we're not stupid. Bitcoin is not a stupid investment, okay? He's just too close-minded at this point, right? Even Joe Rogan kind of understand. I'm not going to play this thing. He's kind of rambling on. But, basically, Joe Rogan even also recognizes, everyone's recognizing it, right? Like, you just can't not pay attention to Bitcoin. Well, you could choose to ignore it. But then, then you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Sometimes you got to open up your mind and listen to what other people have to say. And sometimes they say stupid things, and sometimes they say really brilliant things, right? So, anyways, moving forward, what else is going on with Bitcoin? Well, something else that a lot of people are paying attention to is the DXY. The DXY may have topped out. Okay, when the DXY tops out and it comes back down, guess what happens with Bitcoin? It goes up. It tends to go up in a big, big way. The thing is, though, we kind of broke out of the trend. It's kind of hard to see, but look at the very right side. Look at the very right side. You notice that on the bottom, Bitcoin trended up even while DXY was trending up. That really doesn't happen. You really don't see that. And I would argue that's because Bitcoin is so damn strong right now that even when DXY goes up, Bitcoin is not coming down. So now imagine when DXY starts coming down, the dollars flow out into assets, right? Think about the pump that may be coming to Bitcoin when all that money comes in, right? So that's the amazing thing. Bitcoin has been doing something that has never done before, which is actually go and follow the DXY. That never happens. DXY always goes Bitcoin always goes in an inverse relationship with DXY. So that shows you how strong Bitcoin is right now. There's so much faith and conviction and so many institutions trying to come in, knowing that next year is the halving year, the quadfecta year, right? No one wants to miss out. No one wants to miss out. And you know what? If you're looking at this, look at the previous cycles, how there's a downtrend from the top every single time. And when you break through that downtrend, guess what happens? The uptrend starts, right? We're right there. You may have to test that downtrend a couple times, but we're right there. Again, getting closer and closer to 2024, quadfecta year, with the halving, with spot Bitcoin ETFs, with the elections, with rate cuts possibly right around the corner. It's going to be marvelous. Absolutely marvelous, right? So, again, are we all stupid because we invested in Bitcoin? The answer is no. This is the smartest investment I've ever seen, right? Not the stupidest investment I ever saw. The smartest investment I ever saw. That's Bitcoin. There's no disputing it. You cannot tell me there's anything better to invest in than Bitcoin, especially if you look at the past decade. There's nothing better. Nothing. All right. Moving forward, besides Bitcoin, the other major topic is AI, right? Charlie also shits on that. Thinks that AI is no big deal. Well, other people disagree, including myself. I think AI is going to be a huge thing. Arthur Hayes also thinks AI is going to be a huge thing. And he believes that altcoins like Filecoin, which is a decentralized storage product, will be absolutely huge because AI will need to store enormous amount of data, right? And decentralized storage plays, they offer the cheapest way to do so, right? But it's not just Filecoin. It's many others. Many others in this space can do the same thing, right? But nevertheless, yeah, I think it's important to pay attention to it. For me, people have asked me about Filecoin. People have asked me about decentralized storage plays. And I'm like, I'm not really interested because they're kind of non-sexy. They're just kind of utility-based, right? But, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they will be used for sure, right? But maybe there's going to be a lot more things coming. And I know Filecoin is also trying to become a layer 2. They want to get dApps on top of just their decentralized storage. So that gives them a huge leg up versus all the other decentralized storage plays. Like another one that I like is Arweave, right? But, they're not doing the same thing. So we'll see. I forgot this. But yeah, Bitcoin also has DeFi now. I should have said this first, but all that talk about Bitcoin, there's actually more utility being built on Bitcoin too. So now you have Pyth Network. It's an Oracle, just like Chainlink, but now you could use it within Bitcoin, right? There's a lot of DEXs now, coming up, utilizing stacks, but being built on top of Bitcoin. And now there's an Oracle system for them, right? So even Bitcoin being the best asset class, the best hedges against inflation, best store of value, and arguably the best medium exchange, now is trying to be the best, I don't know. I can't say a smart contract network because they don't really have smart contracts, but maybe maybe the best utility chain too. Let's just put it that way, right? And also, speaking of stacks, they're no longer treated as a security. That's pretty good. You know, there are certain coins that are still kind of grayish, whether it's a security or not. But according to stacks, they are no longer recognized as security. So that would be great. Absolutely great. And then lastly, I saw this. This is unfortunate. But, you know, there's this copycat dApp called Stars Arena, which copied Friend.tech. They launched an Avalanche. They were hacked. And then they were hacked again. And now they came out and said that all the funds are drained. The site is under DDoS attack. And it's looking really, really, really bad. Really bad for them. So I never really got into any of these. I'm in Friend.tech, but I don't really use it. It's just because people told me to get in. But I don't know if any of these social ones are really going to survive. Right now, they're very hot, right? But I think they don't have a lot of utility. If people know how to do something with them, then yeah, I think they could stay. But unfortunately, this has happened. All right. And Bitcoin is, you know, right around 28,000. It is not going down. It is fierce. It is strong. That's awesome. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, I'm gonna keep the Q&A section short because I got something to do, and I know a lot of you guys have something to do on Saturday. Charlie is 99, soon to be 100. Is it really? Is he 99 years old? I mean, you got to give it to the guy. He's just living right now just to shit on Bitcoin. I mean, that's a reason to live, I guess. Eli says Warren Buffett and Charlie Munger are trashing Bitcoin because they missed a boat and they're going to be both dead and gone soon. Well, that's true. Now, of course, they missed a boat, but they're billion. Well, at least Warren Buffett is a billionaire. I don't know if Charlie Munger is a billionaire, but you know, they made their money. They made their money in a different time, different era where tech was not hot and investable, really. You know, they grew up investing in products like Coca-Cola and Pepsi, you know, and PG&E and you know, farmland and railroads, you know, and you know they invest in things that produce, or companies that produce products. I get it, right? Like products that people use, will always use. That's fine, but that's not high growth, right? Tech is high growth, and they just completely missed the train. Even Warren Buffett said it. He's like, I feel stupid not investing in Amazon during the early days, and even Apple, the early days. And I think he even said, I regret not investing in Microsoft, even though he's like best buds with Bill Gates. Think about that, right? And he still shits on everything else, right? They just missed a boat. They couldn't. Greetings from Slovenia. Welcome, people from Slovenia. I can't even pronounce your name. You know, I'm horrible with names already, but yours is even. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce it. Neck, Balize, something like that. Do I have Filecoin in my DCA portfolio? I don't know. I don't think so. I might have to add it. I might have to add it. Saylor doesn't buy BTC that we know of, the company that. No, he does. He has said it in early interviews. He holds 20-something thousand Bitcoins himself. He said that. He doesn't really talk about what he holds anymore. But early on, when I think when MicroStrategy surpassed 100,000 Bitcoins, he was interviewed, and he's like, yeah, me personally, I hold over like 20,000. So he is the ultimate Bitcoin bull, for sure. Cody says, getting advice on reality from anyone that grew up before 1985 is not a good idea. Cody, I'm going to have to 100% disagree with you because I grew up before 1985. Well, I was born before 1985. Let's put it that way. So I think you don't realize how old I am. Maybe if you said like 1960 or 1950 or something like that, that would make more sense. I bet Saylor probably has more than like 30,000 Bitcoins now by himself. Greeting from Netherlands. Appreciate your support. Bitcoin is just slowly edging up at this point. Just getting ready for a huge move. Huge move that is going to come for sure. You know, I don't know what else to say about it. Any opinion on World Mobile Token? I'm going to say bad. That's the one that they want to do KYC, or they want you to scan your iris with that globe or whatever, and you have to do it in person. I mean, no. Back to the Future was a phenomenal series. I'm really surprised it never came out with a new one or a prequel. You know, movie studios don't know how to produce good movies anymore. They're out of ideas, so they keep going back to what people know, right? So I'm really surprised they didn't do like a sequel now, Back to the Future 4, where it's like Marty's kids or whatever, right? They have to get a new doc or whatever. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't do that yet. Scott, stop it now. No, World Mobile on Cardano, not World Coin. Okay, then I'm mistaken. But I don't know anything about World Mobile. Can we see a mini bull run this upcoming Christmas in the shitcoin market? Well, if Bitcoin goes up, yeah, everything will, but not the extreme shitcoins. Like the very, very, very ultra low caps, they're not gonna move. But this this Christmas, I could see Bitcoin surpassing 30,000 easily, maybe going up to 35,000 before the end of the year. If that happens, a lot of the big caps, mid caps will move, but like the small ultra stuff, they're not gonna move. They're not gonna move until we're like second half of 2025, when it's really like an altcoin season. Then those like micro caps start moving because everyone just like throws money everywhere. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. Anyways, my point of this stream is no, we're not stupid, and no, Bitcoin is not the stupidest investment ever. Okay, you're smart for being in the game. Okay, and being in the game early, because it's going to be much harder to get in later. So, smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys tonight. No, I'm not going to see you guys tonight. I'm going to see you guys on Monday morning 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. In the meantime, go check out CRU Plus. Go check out the Clips channel. There's a lot of good content for you guys. There you go. Have a good